Hey guys, been a minute since we made a video. I got a little blower out here on the shelf today. I'm back in my shop here at the house, doing a little side work. Just a little handheld weed eater brand blower, 25cc. It's a FB25. The lines are eat off of the gas tank. We're going to be changing the lines out today. And I got a brand new carburetor for it. So we'll put a brand new carburetor on it. And hadn't really done anything else. I blew it off a little bit, pulled the plug out of it, and make for sure we had fire. And we got spark. So we'll carry on with changing the carburetor out, putting new fuel lines on it. So got my kit here, a little Amazon kit. Comes with pretty much everything you need. Air filter, carburetor, fuel lines. I actually sent a little tool to adjust the carburetor if you need to. So that's what we're going to do today. I'll try to go step by step to where you can tell what's going on. I might change the view a little bit for you so you can see. Just wanted to talk to you a minute, but I'll bring you back. All right. When I get this stuff out of the way, you'll be able to see a little bit better. Hey, my bad. You might know I'd start coughing when I try to make y'all a video. I've took a picture of this. You can too. Just to help you with understanding exactly where everything comes from. I just lay my stuff over to the side. Dang, sorry. I've got a picture of where these lines go. We're going to slide these lines off. They're rotted. No good. These old lines ain't no good for nothing. It don't matter if you just pinch them off. We're going to put new ones on it anyway. I'm going to just fish this line out of here that's got the filter hook to it. I think it's broke completely off. Let me dump his fuel up. We got this little thing off. It goes on the vent side. I've showed y'all before. It's that little thing that goes on the end of the line and just keeps it from pulling back up through the tank. So we'll stick that back on the end of the hose when we get ready to install the new line back in there. So this side's got the filter on it, but I can't. So far, I hadn't been able to reach it. That's what it is. The old fuel line is so stiff that it's got the filter fouled inside. Oh, it finally fell down in. Okay, here we go. All right, so now we got it. I'm going to double check the carburetor that it looks right. We got new gaskets. New filter. Got gaskets for the block there. So we'll pull this old one off. A new air filter. These carburetors look the same to me. I wonder if y'all can see that better. I'll put you on this side. No, it's too far away. I'm going to try to turn this toward you just a little bit. I got to get better set up. I know y'all can't see everything I'm doing, but luckily this is a very simple. I gently wipe that gasket surface off. So make sure you get the right gasket. If you ain't positive, just grab the old one, compare them. Put them back on exactly the same way. Just wipe and clean your parts up as you go. Make sure you don't get any trash back on your new parts, new carburetor. Sometimes if they're real bad, I'll degrease them and wash them with a water hose and some degreaser before I get started, but this one didn't look all that bad, so I'm just going to wipe it down as we go. Take a little air and blow it off. Just have to make sure your gasket stay lined up when you get ready to put this other bolt in. Just get to where you can see both sides of it. Just be gentle as you pull the bolts up. I usually like to kind of wiggle it around a little bit, make it kind of seat where it needs to be. Make sure all your levers work. Snug that down. This one don't have a throttle that you reach and grab. You just set the speed off of the knob right here. So I've never cranked and used one like this. So we'll see what it's all about here in a minute when we get ready to crank it up. But I got to get them fuel lines back down through that tank. And it may be like what we've dealt with in the past. The holes in the tank may not be the same size as the rubber hose that they sent. So I'll either do a little I'll see if I can cut an angle on it and get it started. Let's take my scissors, cut a piece of line on an angle. Like that. And see if you can start it down through the tank. That hole in that tank is very tight. But if you don't leave it pretty snug, gas will seep out around this hose, so you can't get it real loose if you decide to drill another hole in it. Matter of fact, I've got another piece of line here. Let's see how tight it is. Oh, that's too loose. The next size down is too loose, so we're going to try to make this work. Alright, it's not going to go like that, so. Sometimes I'll have another piece of line that's a little bit different. I can get the start down in there. Alright, let me figure out this fuel line. I'll bring you back. Alright guys, I'm going to bring you back right here and show you what I got. I went ahead and put this first piece of hose in. This is your filter. This right here is the line that I pushed through there. I have not drilled them holes out. This is the same size they were when we started. What I want to show you is that I wanted to make sure I could get it in there this way, and then I'll show you what I did. So what I'm going to do is push the filter back down in the tank, grab this line and just pull up on it. You can't hardly see that. Just pull up on this line. Now we don't want to pull the filter out of the tank. We're just going to get it up enough to hook it to the carburetor. Yeah, the filter still has plenty of room in the bottom, so we're going to pull another inch or two here. All we want to do is make sure the filter flops around in the bottom of the tank. That's all we're looking for. and to make sure that the line we're pulling out here is long enough to hook back to the carburetor. So right now, that filter is laying in the bottom of that tank. I'll pull just a little more. All right, filter's laying right in the bottom. And I know that this line here is the one that's closest to the motor. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on. All right, so that's how that goes in there. Now what I did to get that done, I'll just show you with this piece of line right here. You can take a pair of scissors. I've done it with my pocket knife, but you can take a pair of scissors and split this line. The only thing about this method here is you'll waste about an inch or two of a piece of fuel line. But doing what I'm doing, it does make it to where you can get the thing in there without having to drill that hole out. I don't really like drilling that hole out because it makes, if you have to come back with another piece of line one day that's not this size, your tank will be messed up and you won't be able to, the hole will be too big. So I try to leave the hole alone, even though I have drilled them before. So it'd probably help if I show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just taking a piece of fuel line, sticking my scissors in the end of it and just split it up probably an inch or so, like that. And then it works better for me to try to remove some of the thickness of that split. So cut out a piece so that this line will kind of pinch together when you get ready to stick it down through that hole. So all this is going to be waste. This will just be cut off when you get this far. I mean, when you get all this shoved down in the tank. And I'll show you what to do with the rest of it. So all I'm doing right now is cutting out a piece of line to make a gap where I split it. That's all we're trying to do. So I think you can see that now. So this line is going to pinch together like that, and it gives you some relief to get this line down in the tank. So all I'm going to do now is that'll be pinched together a little bit to get it started, and I normally go ahead and cut it on an angle to help me get it started also. So we'll do that too. Now there may be other guys that's got easier or better ways than this. This is just what I do. I've seen them try to wrap sewing thread and a little piece of wire or something around it, but I ain't had too much luck with all that. I just normally split them, remove a little bit of the material so that it'll start down in that hole. And as you push it in, you just kind of have to squeeze it and twist it a little bit and make it feed itself on down into the tank the best you can. If it don't feed through too good, pull it back out and cut you a little bit more material out of it, and it'll eventually go down in there. You get it small enough to feed down in it. All right, so like this one is not going very well, so I'll just pull it back out and trim me another piece of. If you got good scissors, this works a whole lot better. Mine is not cooperating right now. There we go. And just cut that out. So now you can see better. See, I've removed a big piece of that now. So that line will squeeze together like this and go down through that hole, hopefully. Because once we get it in down through the hole about 1 inch, I've got another thing here that it'll let you reach and grab that line. And that's all we're trying to do, is get it in there far enough to reach and grab it. Once we can grab it, we can pull it on through. It won't be this bad the rest of the way. But you got to get it down in there far enough that you can grab it. I believe this piece is tighter than the other piece was. After I got it trimmed right, it didn't take about a couple of minutes to get it in there. I don't know if I can grab it yet, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what I use. I got these things off Amazon. It's a long pair. I think they're for surgical use, but they don't cut, you know, they just pinch. And they're curved on the end. And these are plenty long enough you can reach inside of something and grab what you need. But anyway, I stick it right through the neck and aim it towards that line. Okay, now I got it right now. All right, so I can pinch them things together and they stay locked. To start off with, you just push down on your clamps here and come back up and get you another bite. Well, that ain't what I wanted. I grabbed the wrong line, pulled the other one off. Yeah, just make sure you grab the right one, because I just pulled the one that had the filter hooked to it. I need to trim a little bit of that line right there. Like I say, all this is going to be cut off when you get it in there anyway. So anything you can do to get it down in there is good. I still got the wrong one. Okay, there it is. This one just has to be pinched through there long enough to where you can get your hand on it, pull it through and cut all that old bad stuff off of it. And then I know I'm right in your way. So you're just basically coming up out of the hole, pinching it right up at the top best you can, and then push down on your clamps, down on your line, and feed it through that tank. Do you think you got enough to pull? It's coming up now. See, I got it in my hand right there, but it's still pretty short, so we need to go about another inch just to cut off all that old bad stuff where we cut the line. Each one of these are probably, each time I grab it, I'll probably get about a half inch or so. So Won't take but a couple of more pulls and we'll be long enough that we can pull it up out of there and trim it and put that little thing on the end of it and stick it back down in there and pull the slack out of it. All right, so right here, should be able to see what we got going on now. Okay, so there's that old bad piece that we split. So all I'm gonna do is pull it up out of there enough to cut it right there. Now this is just that's the same exact piece we split to get started. So we only wasted about maybe 1.25 inches of fuel line doing it this way. But what we got to do now is put that little adapter thing back on the end of it. Here it is. Thought I lost it already. Okay, so this will go on the end of that line. The one that that's still long right now. We hadn't even cut it off yet. I'm gonna pull just a little bit more that I can't quite grab hold of it. Now, let's see if I can grab hold of it now. Okay. So that's long enough to, you can, all I'm gonna do is start this little fitting back down through that line. Once you do that, you can just let that go back down in there. This is just your vent tube. So all it's got to do is just clear the fuel level, which I normally pull it back up out of there some. I'll probably let that go over in the tank it's probably down in the tank about 1 inch maybe. Something like that. It ain't gotta be very long. Just enough to vent back into the tank. So that's sticking in there about right. This one is pulled out enough to get back on the carburetor. So all I'm gonna do now is measure this. Find me a spot there to cut it off. And stick it back on the carburetor where it belongs. And each time you work on a carburetor, if you'll just make a mental note or either take a picture of the fittings, how they come off, which one has got the filter on it, which one has got the vent end on it, you'll know, and you can put them right back where they come from. Now, we've made a neat little job of our fuel line. Carburetor's mounted. So the filter is laying down in the bottom of the tank. So everything should be good now. I got this this is a new little air filter that comes with a kit. It just pops inside right here. We're gonna pull this old one out, blow it out a little bit. And I couldn't find a kill switch on this thing, but the top of the carburetor right here does have a spot where you run it forward and it says hold, and it's got a start. So there's the start side, and this is where you gauge the RPMs of the motor. So all you're gonna do is just push it where you want it, wide open or low speed. And I'm gonna put some fresh gas in it, and we'll see what happens. Hey guys, I got this thing put back together. I don't really know where I left yet. I think we got the fuel line back in the tank, filters on, vent tubes on, and I hadn't cranked it. It's still just cold. I had a neighbor pull up and we talked for a minute, and then I realized I was supposed to take my son to a birthday party, and I'm just getting back. So I've been gone probably an hour and a half from when I left you a while ago. So we're going to slip outside, and this is the first pull. So we'll ease outside and see if we can get this thing to crank. I'll take you out here with me so you can tell or know if. Let me get out here and get you set somewhere that you can see. All right, I think I got you. All right, we're on full choke, pumped it 6 times. It tried. All right. We'll go back inside and talk about it. All right, so this is what we worked on, just so you'll know. New fuel lines, new carburetor. This little unit's pretty clean. Not a lot wrong with it that I can see. The muffler has been extremely hot at some point in time and melted the plastic. I wonder if it maybe leaned out at some point in time. I don't know. I may pull this cover off and make sure the screen is not stopped up in the muffler, but it's for sure been hot before. So, all right, well, I'm gonna stop you right there. If y'all enjoyed anything on this video, that I hope it was able to help you out some if you're working on something similar to this. Just so you'll know, any of these little small engines, chainsaws, weed eaters, most of them are exactly what we just done. So just because you're not working on a particular model don't mean that there's a lot different. It's usually just 2 bolts, takes the carburetor off, usually 2 lines, 2 fuel lines on the carburetor. One will be, just pay attention to where they're at. One will go to the squirter, sucking fuel out of the tank. The other one is the vent, kicking fuel through the carburetor and back into the tank. So that's about it. I mean, there's not much to this stuff. I hope that if you're looking for a video that can help you get through some of these situations, if you're fooling with this at your house and trying to keep from having to take it somewhere and spend a bunch of money on it, hopefully something you've seen on this done you some good. So anyway, if you don't mind, like and give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe to the channel, and that's really all I got right now. I'll find something else to work on. We'll make another video. But for this little weed eater, 25cc blower, that's going to end it up. So I'm probably done out here for the night. I done fixed 2 chainsaws and a weed eater today. So that's probably about as far as I need to go right now. And I'll catch y'all on the next one.